1-2. Swung on and miss. Fuchs
coming in right side. Sip. Goes down to the slide and gets it.
Nelson's going to take off on the pitch, which is a called strike 3. Anderson.
Wes Marshall pitches a ground ball through the infield on the left side. One will score. They're going to wave a second runner around. Throw will come to the plate. It is not in time.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Monday afternoon from the campus of Central Cass High School. This is Region 1 softball as the Northern Cass Jaguars match up with the Central Cass Squirrels here on this Monday afternoon. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show. For more information, you can go online to irieins.com. That again is irieins.com. Chase Miller with you here as it's the third game of the season for Central Cass, head coached by Scott Koss with a mark of 2-0 so far in the season. Both Region 1 wins as well as they toppled the Enderlin Eagles back on the 26th, and they won a non-region contest against the Thompson Tommies 6-2 in their season opener. So 2-0 on the season, 1-0 in Region 1 play. Some players who are gone from a season ago: the Senior Athlete of the Year and an All-Stater in Peyton Nelson, Riley Holzer's gone, Sarah Nelson, Barbara Pranty, just to name a few, from a team that won the state title last season. Central Cass with 6 state titles in program history, and they've won the last 4 that have been played in 18-19, no tournament in 2020 due to COVID, and then one in 2021 and 2022 here for the Central Cass Squirrels. After today for Central Cass, they get ready to host the Kindred Richland Vikings upcoming tomorrow, and then a game with Hillsborough Central Valley is scheduled Thursday, then heading out west to Dickinson to get some games in over the weekend, barring Mother Nature. The same can be said for Northern Cass in terms of the helter-skelter schedule a little bit here that we've had so far in the month of April. Head coached by Anthony Meyer, 0-1 on the season. Their one game, well, that was against the Kindred Richland Vikings last week. They played it down in Wahpeton, and the Jags came out on the short end of the stick, in which the Vikings won 17-4 in that contest. They have a game tomorrow here on yourliveevent.com in Hillsborough at Hillsborough Central Valley, and then they're scheduled to go to Minot and go up against the likes of Divine County and Velva Drake Animus, and that'll be games inside the Minot State Dome. Talking with Anthony Meyer, they had some other games with Renville County on Friday, then Velva Drake Animus on Saturday. That has been moved around as well due to some weather and teams trying to get as many possible region contests as they can here in April and as we get into the month of May. A couple of weeks from now, circle May the 20th on your schedule. That is when the Region 1 softball tournament gets underway at Kindred, and then everything the first weekend of June 1 through the 3rd, state softball and state baseball in Class B will be in the Magic City in Minot. We'll take a quick break. When we come back after this, we'll hear from both head coaches. First, Anthony Meyer for the Northern Cass Jaguars. Then we'll hear from Scott Koss from the Central Cass Squirrels. This is the Region 1 contest between Central Cass and Northern Cass here on yourliveevent.com.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
As we continue on our Irie Insurance pregame show here today from Castleton, Region 1 softball between Northern Cass the Jags going up against the Squirrels of Central Cass. Join us now from Northern Cass, their head coach, Anthony Meyer. And Anthony, just like everybody on the eastern side of the state, you barely played maybe 1-2 games if you're lucky, maybe 3 if you're really on the fortunate side here so far on April 24th. You did play 1 game down in Wahpeton last week against Kindred Richland. What are you looking to see from game number 2 against 2 quality opponents to start the season here in the Vikings and today against the Squirrels?
Yeah, so last week was first time getting outside as a team, so it was kind of difficult. But pitching-wise, I think both ways on both sides of the teams, it was lots of balls, just getting our feet underneath us. So hopefully today we've gotten the jitters out, first game jitters, and today will be a better game than last week. What
is someone like an Elise Sand who's got varsity experience, who's been around this program for quite some time, what does she kind of bring to this year's version of the Jaguars?
Yeah, she's voted team captain this year, and she's going to be our rock and our ace, so should be a good game today.
And then when you're taking a look at the schedule, we were just talking off air how stuff has been changing, whether you're going out west or you're staying here. How hard is it to be consistent and at least, even have a game day, then it gets postponed, or have a game day that gets canceled? What's kind of the mental mindset, from last spring and even this spring here, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, last year, same type of thing. So at least they're kind of familiar with it, at least the returning players. So we're just trying to take it day by day and make the best out of everything. So trying to stay positive. Our field's not ready. Probably won't be ready for another week and a half. So we're traveling everywhere. Last week we had to travel to Wahpeton to play a home game against Kindred. So I just keep telling the girls, stay positive and have a good attitude. So
final thing for you, win, lose, or draw for a game today and games coming up in Minot this week. I asked Scott Costas the same thing. What do you want to see from your team this week, hoping to get 1, 2, 3 games of softball in?
Just getting
game number 2 against 2 quality opponents.
Stay positive and have a good attitude. So
final thing for you, win, lose, or draw for a game today and games coming up in Minot this week. I asked Scott Costas the same thing. What do you want to see from your team this week, hoping to get 1, 2, 3 games of softball in?
Just getting those jitters out. A lot of the girls, like I said, we've been inside, so getting that outside experience, getting outside. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to just play some good ball. Try to keep the errors down, throw strikes, and just keep it simple.
Hey, thanks so much for your time, Anthony, and best of luck here today against Castleton and out west next week up in Minot.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll continue on our pregame show after this. Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow in the new space and move forward with excellence. As we continue on our Irie Insurance pregame show here today from Castleton, able to get outdoors, and head coach for the Central Cass Squirrels, Scott Kosh, joining us here. And Scott, that's something we haven't said a lot too often on the eastern side of the state. A lot of teams with maybe 1, 2, or even 0 games, depending on what area you're from here in the spring sports. So you'll be able to play 2 games, a win against Thompson and a win against Enderlin. What did you see from your teams coming up here in the first 2 games last week?
I thought we hit pretty well. We pitched well. Let's see, we gave up 2 runs the first night and 2 runs the second day, and so all in all, kind of same early season jitters, few mistakes, things that we can work on, but all in all, I've been pleased.
And then obviously, when I take a look at the roster, some girls that had a lot of playing time from last year, 2 of them particular with you have Kate Sinner and then also Grace Fletchhawk, and alongside with Tori Richter. What have those 3 just brought to this year's team in terms of their varsity experience and understanding they've been through the same situation last year where you had to wait before you finally got some games in?
Yeah, they're great leaders. It's we've done a ton of practices inside, and that's hard to do. But when you've got your seniors and your juniors that are leading and they're working hard and they're staying focused and they're doing the things that we need to do to be successful, that really helps a lot. So I really appreciate the senior leadership that we have right now.
Hopefully a busy week for you guys with a game today, Kindred Richland coming up tomorrow, and then you're going to make the trek out west. So what do you want to see in a matter of, whether it's 2 games you guys get in or 6 games hopefully you get in this week here, Scott? What do you want to see, win, lose, or draw?
I just want to keep getting better. We've got to work a few other kids into the lineup right now. We're going to try to get a couple of kids in tonight to see what they can do. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow night, and trying to find, I always think of a lineup as being putting puzzles together, a puzzle together, and so we just got to figure out what the pieces look like, and so and hopefully we just keep getting better as the season goes on here.
Final thing for you, going up against Northern Cass, at least, Sam, they've got some players who've been around the Region 1 for quite some time. What do you expect here this afternoon?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a good team. I think they, they showed some things at the end of the year last year, and I think they've only gotten 1 game in so far, but so they're kind of in the same boat that we are. But I think should be a good competitive game today.
Scott, as always, thanks so much for your time, and good luck today and throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you for the coverage, Chase.
That again, Central Cass head coach Scott Koss will continue on our pregame show after this.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the IRE Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let IRE Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to ireinsurance.com.
As we continue on our IRE Insurance pregame show here today. As we continue here on our final segment on our IRE Insurance pregame show in Castleton today, as the Central Cass Squirrels are taking some of their final infield here before they get ready for the first pitch. In the center circle for both teams here today for the visitors will be Elise Sand, their senior captain, going up against Tori Richter here, also a senior and nominated to the Optimist All-Star Volleyball Series here in the month of June. We will have some of those series for you, the Shield Softball All-Star Series in June with the Optimists, the Lions Basketball Series in July, and then we'll be in partnership with Three Border Sports Network for the North Dakota Shrine Bowl coming up on June 24th. That'll be at Mayville State. So again, we'll have those games for you here between the Lions All-Star Basketball Series. Some players, Hallie Crockett from Northern Cass is nominated there. And then obviously here for the Central Cass Squirrels, a team that's had a bevy of talent in recent years here when it comes to state Class B softball in North Dakota. It has been the old Central Cass and everybody else until someone can knock off the Squirrels here in Class B. Northern Cass at 0-1 on the season. The Central Cass Squirrels at 2-0. Overcast skies today here in Castleton in the mid-40s. The wind that we have will be going more right to left from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole. Central Cass in their home red jerseys of Squirrels across the front, while for Northern Cass they will be in their all-black jersey attires with Jaguars across the front in white here. Anthony Meyer, the head coach for Northern Cass, while Scott Kost is the head coach here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So take a quick break. When we come back after this, the starting lineups will get to the very first pitch as well, and we'll find out what is in store here on yourliveevent.com throughout the week. We do have a couple of games scheduled tomorrow. Hillsborough Central Valley at Thompson for a Region 2 baseball contest, and then also Northern Cass against Hillsborough Central Valley in Hillsborough for a Region 1 softball contest tomorrow. Those games at around 4 o'clock, and then we'll have a busy day on Friday and Saturday with the scheduled games of the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. Our coverage on Friday morning gets underway at 10 o'clock, and then our coverage on Saturday gets underway at 9 o'clock in the morning. Both Northern Cass and Central Cass will have a couple of games on Friday and Saturday, respectively. You can check out our website at yourliveevent.com. And then Central Cass scheduled to play HCV in softball on Thursday as well. That game for you here on Your Live Event. So we hope, fingers crossed, even though there's a chance of some precipitation throughout the week, that we can get the majority of the games in. And then, crazy to think, a week from now we'll be into the month of May, and then from there a couple weeks we will get in to postseason play in terms of softball, baseball, track and field, golf. It maybe hasn't felt like it too much, but we will get there sooner rather than later. Anthony Meyer, the head coach here for Northern Cass on the left. Scott Costa, head coach here for Central Cass on the right. Just talking with our umpiring crew here. Again, some final words in before we get to the very first pitch here on this Monday afternoon. The Central Cass Squirrels, they made the state tournament every year since 2012. They've had 10 all-time in program history, while for Northern Cass, their lone state tournament appearance comes back in 2018. And what a way to start the season with last year's state runner-up in Kindred Richland, the defending back-to-back champ in the Central Cass Squirrels. And then you have a game with Velvet, Drake, and a Moose on the docket here a little bit later on this week up in Minot, as Velvet, Drake, and a Moose made the state tournament last season as well, with Beulah, Renville County, Des Lacs, Burlington. So it's going to be a difficult schedule here for Coach Anthony Meyer, but both teams talked about it, coaches talked about it respectively in their pregame conversation, just saying we're just looking to get games. That's number one. You know, there's only so much you can do in terms of infield practice, indoors, outfield practice, line pitching. At this point, it's just about getting repetition, getting girls some opportunities who might not be in a starting lineup to actually get out and play and get on the, in this case, the turf here in Castleton, and get some live game action against someone other than your respective in-house opponent, whether it's JV, varsity, or somewhere along the line. The Central Cass Squirrels and the Northern Cass Jaguars here. That does it for our Irie Insurance pregame show. Again, for more information, go online to irieins.com. Quick break. We're back after this with the starting lineups and the first pitch here on this Monday afternoon on this April 24th here on yourliveevent.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton, or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
As we take a look at the starting lineups here today between Central Cass and Northern Cass before our national anthem here. Northern Cass will go like this. At a pitcher, Elise Sand for the senior pitcher. The right-hander, Reese Lavig, the second baseman, freshman, batting second. Tess Jalbert, the catcher, freshman, batting third. And the cleanup batter is Hannah Anderson, the senior right fielder. From there, Casey Fix, the junior third baseman here for Northern Cass. You'll have Brooklyn Hoyland, the sophomore first baseman, batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Ariel Rousey, the designated player, the senior, seventh in the lineup. Olivia Olson, the shortstop freshman, batting eighth. Rose Gellner, the junior center fielder, ninth. And Emma Hovdenis, the flex left fielder freshman here for the Northern Cass Jaguars. Again, Elise Sand in the center circle with her battering ram of Tesh Jalbert here for the Northern Cass Jaguars. Head coached by Anthony Meyer with a mark of 0-1 on the season and 0-1 in Region 1 play. Northern Cass, some of the players gone from a season ago, Allie Slinger and Abby Richmond, Delaney Schmidt, and alongside Mackenzie Anderson are some of those that they have to replace here this season. We go from Northern Cass to the Central Cass Squirrels here at Cass Field in Castleton. They'll go like this. Tori Richter, the senior pitcher in the circle here for the Squirrels, an all-stater from a season ago. Grace Fletchock, the junior shortstop, batting second. Katie Sinner, the senior third baseman, batting third. From there, Mickey Procknell, the cleanup hitter, the senior first baseman across the way. Taylor Severson, the senior center fielder, batting fifth here for Central Cass. The battering ram with Tori Richter behind the plate is the junior Paige Wixo. From there, Camry Nelson, the senior right fielder, batting seventh. Aspen Preen, the eighth grade designated player. Preen, the eighth grader again, batting eighth here for head coach Scott Cost and the Center Cass Squirrels. From there, Whitney Mitchell, the second baseman, the freshman, batting ninth, and Sophie Sherwhite, the flex player, left fielder. She is batting again in the lineup. She is 10th in the flex position here for Central Cass. So again, Tori Richter in the circle here for the Squirrels. We'll take a quick break. When we're back after this, it's the first pitch between Northern Cass and Central Cass. It's Region 1 Class B softball today here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow in the new space and move forward with excellence.
As we continue here from Cass Field in Castleton, it's the Central Cass Squirrels and the Northern Cass Jaguars here on YourLiveEvent.com. Central Cass at 2-0 on the season, while for the Northern Cass Jaguars at 0-1. Northern Cass batting leadoff again is the opposing pitcher in Elise Sand here. Reese Lavig batting second and Tesh Jalbert batting third here for Northern Cass. Defensively in the field for the Central Cass Squirrels, Sherwhite in left, Severson in center, and Nelson is in right. Center at third base with Fletchock at short, Mitchell at second, Procknow at first, and Wixo is behind the plate with Tori Richter in the center circle for the Central Cass Squirrels. As you can tell across the way, there is some snow still waiting to get melted in certain areas, just like it is across the vast majority of the eastern side of the state. As we'll get this one ready to go here in a moment. As Elise Sand gets into the batter's box here, as the home plate umpire just taking to grab a couple extra softballs in reserve for once those come foul. As Anthony Meyer at the third base coaching box, the head coach for Northern Cass. First pitch here, getting ready to get underway at 4:39 with Tori Richter. This one going to be foul back. It'll be 0-1. So Elise Sand, part of that Northern Cass State Volleyball Championship team from this fall that made it all the way to the Bismarck Event Center and won a dandy against the Lytton HMB Lions. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Richter. Changeup got her swinging, now 0-2 on the opposite side here for Tori Richter, part of that first ever State Class B Girls Basketball Championship team here for head coach Jay Bachman and the Central Cass Squirrels. I've said it many times before, but very, very on the 0-2 pitch. Going to miss up on the rise ball, now 1-2. In girls athletics here on the Class B side of the state, we've been very spoiled in terms of the athletes, both individually but also from a team standpoint. Here's the 1-2 offering. This will be in the dirt. Wicks away with a block it. Now 2-2. After Sandlovig here, the freshman second baseman, then Jalbert, another freshman, the catcher, followed by Anderson batting cleanup. 2-2 pitch, swung on and miss, and Richter gets her first strikeout of the afternoon. So nice job by Richter. Already has one win early in the season here. An All-Stater in 2022 from a season ago here, and someone who had a lot of experience in the center circle. Swung on and missed here as Lavig now goes 0-1. That's the one thing here, Northern Cass, a team that's been kind of knocking on the door in a very quality region here in Class B softball. 0-1 pitch. This one's going to miss now, 1-1. And you got the likes of Central Cass and Kindred Richland, two teams that went 1-2 a season ago. It kind of feels like at particular times for some of those teams are climbing a mountain. Here's the pitch. Did she go? She did not offer at it, so it'll be a ball. Now 2-1. Then a really good Corey Erickson, Hillsborough Central Valley Borough team that, talking with some coaches this spring, they think that they might be a little undervalued, if you will, in terms of what they can provide this season in Region 1 play. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the first on our Bank North scoreboard. That one able to split the outer part of the plate, now 3-2. For more information, go to ibanknorth.com. It's values-based banking without ever slowing down. Member FDIC and proud supporter of their communities. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Richter gets her second strikeout to start the first inning. But Region 1 here this season does add Maple River. Maple River going to play a JV-only schedule, but you have Enderlin, Central Cass, the co-op of Hankinson, Fairmount, Rossall, Campbell, Tinta, Lidgerwood. That's a mouthful. And depending on if you talk to Mike Lowell, the head coach, he's going to call it Pirate Fast Pitch. If you call it on the baseball team, they're called the Ball Stars. 1-0 pitch on the way to Tess Jalbert, the freshman catcher. Swung on and missed, now 0-2. Also, Hillsborough Central Valley, Kindred Richland, mentioned Northern Cass, and JV only here from Maple River. They will be the 7th seed going into the Region 1 tournament as they just started that program this season. 0-2 pitch, swinger. And that'll be 3 up, 3 down, and a strikeout this side here for Tori Richter as we get ready to go to the bottom of the first inning. On our Bank North scoreboard, it's the Central Cass Squirrels coming to bat next here on your live event.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the IRE Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let IRE Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to ireinsurance.com.
From Coss Field here, 3 up, 3 down, retiring the side via the strikeout is Tori Richter. Now what can Elise Sand here do for Northern Cass? Elise Sand going up against Tori Richter, Grace Fletchock, and Kate Sinner here. The 1, 2, and 3 batters. From there, Mickey Prochnow batting 4th, Severson 5th with Paige Wixo 6th. Camry Nelson, the right fielder, senior 7th. Aspen Preen, the designated player. Whitney Mitchell, the second baseman, followed by Sophie Sherwhite here for the Central Cass Squirrels. For Northern Cass, in the outfield, Hovdenis in left, Gellner in center with Anderson in right. At first base is going to be Hoyland, Lavig at second, Olson at short with Casey Fix at third base, and Tess Jalbert here behind the plate for Elise Sand. Both Jalbert, Sand, and Fix played some valuable minutes for Coach Angie Johnson and Northern Cass in their state volleyball run in the fall. Chase Miller with you here from Coss Field in Castleton. You look between the softball diamonds, there's a lot of snow. You look kind of in right field at the baseball diamond, there's still, if you want to make a snowman, you can. It's one of those kind of years, and talking with the coaches, they said it just feels like a carbon copy of last year where you've been chomping at the bit, waiting to play, and you're trying to get games in as much as you possibly can. Elise Sand going up against Richter. And the first pitch to Central Cass will miss up top for a ball, now 1-0. But this season in Region 1, you get 2 teams from the respective regions. The pitch is going to be missing up. Now 2-0 here to Richter. Taking a look here again, softball's been one in the state that's been a sport that's been on the grow, as the same now with girls wrestling that we've seen. Central Cass is one of those teams that have done very well from the girls wrestling side. Here for Travis Lamar, who's Coach of the Year this season in North Dakota. 3-0 pitch to Richter, going to be in there for a strike as Tori was taken the entire way, to see if that one came through. But for Class B softball here, we'll get to it in a moment, the number of regions in Class B this year. That'll miss for a 5-pitch walk. So as Tori Richter climbs aboard here, and she'll have the first runner of the day for either team as Fletchock comes in. But in Class B, Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4, and the West has really grown in recent seasons, particularly. This one's going to get back to the backstop as Richter is able to come all the way through for a stolen base. So that one will be a wild pitch, and this will allow Richter to get into scoring position as Fletchock now will work ahead in the count 1-0. But out west, you have teams of the likes of Renville County, who took Central Cass right down to the wire a season ago in the semifinals, and Beulah did the same thing to Kindred Richland. 2 really good semifinal round games, as this one misses for a ball, now 2-0. So those are a couple teams. The Delax Burlington, they've been there, done that at state before. This one's going to miss outside, now 3-0. And then Region 2, Mayport, CG Thompson, those have been the teams to beat in recent seasons. You add a lot of teams in Langdon and Midway Minto, Carrington in recent years here, as that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So runners now at first and second after back-to-back walks to start this off here with a awfully talented and a heavy hitter here in center coming to the plate. Outfield playing straight away. Casey Fix playing even with the bag at third. The pitch to center is roped into left field. Humdenis comes in. They are rounding it across. Can they get Richter at the plate? They can't. Center with an RBI single here as the Central Cass Squirrels open up the scoring on our Bank North scoreboard as they lead at 1-0. Fletchock goes to second. Center gets the first hit of the afternoon. So one rip. Center with the RBI single here on our Bank North scoreboard, and Mickey Prochnow, the senior first baseman, steps in. This one will miss for a ball, now 1-0. Good job by Center coming aggressive to the plate after Elise Sand drew a walk to Fletchock, a walk to Richter. First pitch swinging here, and she smoked one to left. This one's going to be hit on the ground past the shortstop of Olson into left field. Scott Costas waving the runner Fletchock in from second base with a sliding in safely is Fletchock, and now it's 2-0 Central Cass. So a great start for the team clad in red here after an RBI single by Sinner and an RBI single now for Prochnow. And the Squirrels with a chance to open up the scoreboard here early in this contest. Good-looking pitch by Sand to Severson here now, 0-1. Taylor Severson, a senior center fielder. 0-1 pitch on the way for Sand. This one swung on and missed, now 0-2. These two programs as well in girls basketball met in the Region 1 softball. The Region 1 girls basketball title in February. This one hits the in part of the plate. 3 pitches, all strikes, and Sand gets her first punch out of the afternoon. A much-deserved strikeout as well, as Paige Wixow will come up to the plate. Runner at second as Sinner. She got aboard with an RBI single, and then Prochnow followed that up with an RBI single. First pitch is popped up. You got to play the wind. Sand does a good job coming in with that wind, going more from right field to the Northern Cass dugout here up the third baseline. And now 2 down quickly here after the pop-out to Sand. Camry Nelson, the senior right fielder, will step into the plate. She'll try to bring a couple of squirrels on while Sand will look to minimize the damage at 2. This one misses up and away, now 1-0. If Nelson can climb aboard here, Central Cass Squirrels with the on-deck batter and get ready here with Aspen Preen. Here's Nelson. This one is going to be fouled off the left foot as Camry goes down, and on a 40-degree day, that does not feel at all fun. You just wrap that and smoke that on the inner part of your ankle. Scott Kost talking to Camry up the third base line right now, giving her some words of encouragement, seeing how she's able to go. More importantly, how much weight can you put on it with that upper foot here on the left-hand side for Central Cass. Runner at second again is Sinner. Prochnow at first. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning with Sand. This one will run in off the plate, now 2-1. Casey Fix playing a little bit off the bank and in at third, and then Hoyland doing the same here at first. Outfield playing straight away. 2-1 pitch to Nelson. This one going to miss, now 3-1. It's going to be the third batter of this first inning that Elise Sand has thrown at least 3 balls to, with Richter and Fletchock to start things off, and Nelson 1 ball away from the third walk of the inning. This one foul back. Now it's a full count at 3-2. First full count of the day for Elise Sand against this Central Cass lineup. Anderson, Fix, and Hoyland due up next. The 4, 5, and 6 batters in the top of the second for the Jags. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here, and the pitch. That's going to be strike 3 looking, and that'll retire the sign here. So Sand gets 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. She gives up 2 runs, both earned, and that'll retire the side here in the top of the, make it the bottom of the first inning. On our Bank North scoreboard, we go to the top of the second with a new score. Central Cass leads it by 2.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
Back at Coss Field here, swung on a miss by Hannah Anderson, makes it 0-1, and just like Richter did in the first, working ahead of Northern Cass batters here in the second, as this one is going to be full of snow now for a softball up the first base line. And they'll be 0-2. Hannah Anderson, followed by Casey Fixed and Brooklyn Hoyland here, the 4, 5, and 6 batters due up for Northern Cass. Richter, 3 up, 3 down, all via the strikeout in the first. trying to get her 4th straight strikeout to start the game. That'll miss outside. Now 1-2. Elise Sand struck out on a 2-2 count. Lavig worked it full, and then Tesh Jalbert on a couple of pitches, and she was retired. 1-2 pitch, swung on and miss, and Richter gets her 4th straight punch-out to start this contest out. 1 down now in the top of the 2nd inning. Casey Fix, the junior 3rd baseman, played a little rotation with the setter, with Noelle Erickson for Angie Johnson's club back in the fall, and then part of that D.C. Lucas Northern Cass team that was able to get to the Region 1 title, falling short to Central Cass at the Shack earlier in the winter. Feels just about as cold outside then as it does now for most of the month of April. Here's the 1-0 pitch by Richter. That'll be in there for a strike now, 1-1. Thing with Casey Fix there, we haven't really said, even though it's early, just 5 batters in. Richter working behind instead of ahead of a Jaguar batter. 1-1 pitch. This one will make Casey Fix dance a little bit at the plate now, 2-1. Northern Cass with a game tomorrow scheduled in Hillsboro. We'll have that game for you right here on yourliveevent.com. 2-1 pitch, missing up, now 3-1. Central Cass scheduled to host the Kindred Richland Vikings. That game is scheduled tomorrow here in Castleton at 4:30. 3-1 offering from Richter. That'll be in there for a strike. Fix taking the entire way, and it'll be a 3-2 here to Fix. We'll see what Richter throws out here. The changeup been awfully deadly here today. This one gonna miss for a ball, and that'll be a 6-pitch walk. So first batter of the day, there goes the perfect game. And now will be the first batter on here for Northern Cass and head coach Anthony Meyer. Tough take there by Fix, a 3-2 count that just missed at the knee as Brooklyn Hoyland will check in now for Northern Cass. So Fix at first. Here's the offering. This one swung on and mix. Wixo looks back the runner at first and Fix, and that'll be 0-1. As the Jags will step back in. Hoyland works behind the count here. This one swung on and missed, now 0-2. Earlier, talking with Coach Meyer, said, yeah, our softball diamond might be another week and a half away on the Northern Cass campus from being playable, as they hope to get a couple of games in here this spring. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Richter gets her 5th strikeout. All outs via the punch-out here today for Tori Richter. As Ariel will step in here, the senior, with a runner at first with Fix. We'll see if Casey might take off here. And the pitch. There she goes. Fix goes down to second. There's a throw by Wixo. Do they apply the tag? They do. Fletchock applies the tag to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down, 2 via the strikeout, and 1 via caught stealing at second base as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning on our Bank North scoreboard. It's Central Cass up by 2.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
Make sure you patronize all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here on yourliveevent.com throughout the month of April, May, and once we get to some of the All-Star festivities in June as well. Without them, we would not be able to be here and provide our broadcast here throughout the spring. Chase Miller with you here from Coss Field in Castleton. So far, 2-0 for those of you that are just joining us, thanks in part to a center RBI single last half inning, and then Prochnow followed that up with an RBI single as well. Elise Sand got out of the jam, though, as the first 4 runners, or 4 batters, that is, were able to reach base via the walk or a single. Then she hunkered down with a pair of strikeouts and also a pop-out. As an 8th grader here in Aspen Preen, the designated player, takes a ball to open up the 2nd inning for Central Cass. 1-0 pitch on the way. for San. Preen looks to bunt, bunts this one up the third base line. Fix is there, fires and throws, and got her in time for the out. Good-looking play there by Casey Fix, coming in nicely. Preen about hit that one as good as he can from the bunt. Just couldn't beat it out by a half a foot, and that'll retire the leadoff batter here to open up the bottom of the second inning. 5-3 on the putout as Mitchell, another underclassman here in the lineup for head coach Scott Kost here today. And he kind of said, throughout this week, they got a number of games scheduled. Kindred Richland upcoming tomorrow, HCV on Thursday, then heading out west throughout the weekend is get a lot of different players some opportunities to play, whether it's getting to the batter's box or getting in the field. This one is hit high in the air. That's a big league pop-up to center field. Gellner comes in and almost with a snow cone. Able to get the second out here of the bottom of the second inning. As we'll go back to the top of the order here with Tori Richter. With Sherwhite being in the flex spot, so we'll go to Richter to bat to the top. Tori with a walk, then able to get to second on a wild pitch, and then she came in to score off the center RBI single. She'll take down low for a ball now 1-0. Ely Sand here. I'll try to get a 3-up, 3-down inning and get the bats back in as Richter sees this one come across now 2-0. Tori, part of that valuable role for Central Cass last season, going in the book from last year from high school. We did the Shield Softball All-Star Series. O'Reilly Holzer might remind some folks, and Maddie Burchell from the Kindred Richland area. But here's Richter. She hits one to left center field, and that one might split the gap, and that one is gone. Forget about the gap. That one is out of here. Tori Richter with a solo homer, and it's Central Cass now 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. That was hit on a rope by Richter as she gets the solo home run. It's now 3-0 in favor of the Central Cass Squirrels. And that's the one thing for Central Cass, going back to some of the names and players. They can hurt you in so many different ways. Last season defeating the Kindred Richland Vikings in the championship game 11-1. And then they had to come back as well in the semifinals, defeating Renville County 3-2. This one misses up and in after the walk-off two-run homer by Peyton Nelson. Barbara Pranty had a triple, and then Nelson had a scolding shot to center field to bring the Squirrels to the championship game. This one is hit high in the air, but Hovness able to break it back and cover it just in front of the warning track. She kind of got spun around there with the wind a little bit. But that'll retire the side. One run on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Two complete with a new score on our Bank North scoreboard as we go to the top of the third inning. It's Central Cass 3, Northern Cass scoreless on your liveevent.com.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Top of the third inning we go. Central Cass leads it by 3 as it's Rousey, Olson, and Gellner, 7, 8, and 9 batters after Casey Fix with 2 outs was gunned down Wixo to Fletchock on the putout to retire the side in the top of the second. Richter working ahead in the count, 0-1, and paints the corner now 0-2. Tori Richter threw 6 outs, 5 of them via the strikeout so far. She struck out the first 4 batters from Northern Cass in this contest. 3-0 though. The Jags looking to put some offensive firepower going, but Richter hitting her spots. 3 pitches and 3 strikes, and Rousey is retired via the punch-out looking. Tori Richter getting a lot of playing time from last year where Peyton Nelson and Richter were really the 1-2 combination for Scott Kost. And now as a senior, this is her opportunity to be one of those senior leaders here in this softball program. Swung on and missed to Olivia Olson. Freshman here for the shortstop, and then the junior center fielder Rose Gelner, again due up here for Northern Cass. 0-1 pitch on the way. This one missing on the inner part of the plate. Now 1-1. Even though Region 1 has the least amount of teams, you could argue it's the best competition in the state some years for teams that finish 3rd or 4th in this region that possibly could either win a region out west or even take a runner-up to get to state. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way here for Richter. As it used to be a east and west, and now with the amount of teams, and Richter gets another strikeout. That's going to be her 7th. Continue to tally them up here the first time through the order. The only player to reach base was Casey Fix, and she did a nice job. She was able to work the count full, able to get a walk back in the 2nd inning. This one's going to be missing down low now, 1-0. And then we'll go back to Elise Sand to get things going here for Northern Cass. The Jags just looking for base runners right now, down by 3 in the top of the 3rd on our Bank North scoreboard. This one swung on and missed, now 1-1. For Central Cass to open up the bottom of the 3rd inning, Fletchock, Center, and Prochnow, the 2, 3, and 4 batters. It'll be Center, Prochnow, and Severson here to open up the inning. The 3, 4, and 5. This one swung on and missed, now 1-2. As the Squirrels trying to get to 3-0 on this season, while for Northern Cass looking to even up that record with 1 win and 1 loss. They can come back here in Castleton. This one going to be missing outer part of the plate. That'll even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. 7 innings in softball and high school, unless the mercy rule comes into play. And the first time through the order, Tori Richter strikes out 8 of the 9 Northern Cass batters. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still a 3-0 contest here. It's the Squirrels right now out in front on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow in the new space and move forward with excellence.
First pitch to start the inning off. Center hits a high fly ball to no man's land down the left field line. Kind of Bermuda's Triangle between Fix, Olson, and Hovness, and it drops in for a base knock. And first pitch swinging again is Center. She's going to be at second base. So Center with a single and a double, and now Prochnow will come up here for the Central Cass Squirrels on our Bank North scoreboard. It's 3-0 Central Cass, and this was part of the order that has done the damage so far in this contest. Sand, this one missing. Testrupper with the block. Now 1-0. Fix at third, Olsen at short with Lavig at second, and Hoyland at first here for Northern Cass in the infield. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, now 1-1. Right to left in the outfield is Anderson, Gelner, and Hovdenis in left. 1-1 offering on the way to Prochnow. Miss outer part of the plate, now 2-1. Severson due up next, the Central Cass senior center fielder. As the wind continues to blow in from right field here in Castleton. 2-1 pitch. That'll be in there for a strike. Now 2-2. Very reminiscent to last year in terms of just not really a spring-like day in April. A little bit of coldness, and he had to battle the elements even in the region tournaments in May. 2-2 pitches smashed to the left. Humdeness will come in, and they're going to hold the runner center at third. So it'll be runners at the corners now for Central Cass. Back-to-back singles for Prochnow. Center goes to third, and it's Taylor Severson who struck out on 3 pitches her last time up. Runners at first and third here, and with Prochnow at first base, we'll see what the play is put on for head coach Scott Cost as he has the signals down the coaching box line. Northern Cass the same thing. What do they do if Kingston runner at first? Prochnow goes for second. That's exactly what she's doing. They'll give it right to Elise Sand, and I mean a stolen base here for Mickey. As Prochnow, first pitch will go in to now scoring position here. That'll be a strike to Severson. Now 0-1, the offering from Sam. This one hit high in the air down the left field line, but that'll be foul into the snow field as the little kids will have a present. A late Easter egg up the left field line. And we'll do it all over again now with the 0-2 offering. Sand will like another punch out here of Severson with runners in scoring position, trying to get the first out of the bottom of the third. This one is hit in the air to center. Gellner has to get on her high horse. The second baseman there, and Lavig is there, able to fire it back into the catcher, Jalbert, and that'll get one out. So got enough of Severson to get one out retired here. Running in on that pop-up is now Wixo will come up to the plate. Wixo popped out on one pitch to Sand back in the first inning. Runners at second and third here with Nelson due up next. Central Cass looking to open up this game a little bit here in the third. This one is hit up the right field line foul. Now 0-1. Top of the fourth inning for Northern Cass. Still have their 1-2-3 batters with Elise Sand due up to start the fourth inning. 9 batters through, 8 strikeouts for Richter the first time through the order on Northern Cass. Good looking pitch, just missed a little high. Now 1-1, but good offering there by Sand as Wixo would have not been able to do much with that pitch unless she hit it down the third base line. 1-1. This one is hit right back to the pitcher. Sand throws it back to Fix. It's going to one-hop Casey Fix. Center's going to come in to score, and via the air coming in will be Katie Sinner. So Sinner will come in. Prochnow will stay at second. Reaching base now at first base is going to be Wixo. But this one is going to be in there for a strike. So Nelson now 0-1. 4-0 your score on the Bank North scoreboard here as they whip it back to Elise Sand, now 1-1. So Center opened it up with that double down the left field line. She came in after Hovdenes, Olsen, and Fix were unable to play the wind and try to corral it. This one has hit hot eye in the air. And speaking of playing the wind, they'll have another chance at it. Olsen in short left field, going to give way to the left fielder, and Hovdenes will retire the side. And Northern Cass, out of all that, only gives up 1 run, but it is a new score. It's 4-0 as we go to the top of the fourth inning here. It's the Northern Cass Jaguars coming to the dish, looking for their first hit on YourLiveEvent.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, including some of our feature sponsors. Our scoreboard sponsor of Bank North, as they offer the perfect sync for your busy life with their online banking and mobile app. You can take them wherever you want to go and handle your banking requests anytime for all of your accounts. It's values-based banking without ever slowing down. Visit ibanknorth.com, member FDIC, and proud supporter of their community. So Tori Richter, first time through the order, well, 3 up and 3 down was kind of the name of the game here. And Elise Sand will take a ball to open things up here in the top of the fourth inning. All things considered, Northern Cass just one good half inning here at the plate from getting right back in this contest, just down 4-0. But with how Richter's pitching, it feels a whole lot more than that so far. Now 1-1. So Sand, Lavig, and Tess Jalbert here for Northern Cass. The Jakes had to travel down to Wahpeton last week for a date with the Kindred Richland Vikings. Maddie Burchell was the lone senior on that Viking team from a season ago, so you knew they were going to come out ready, as this one is smashed down the right field line, but just foul past Prochnow at first base. So, talking with Anthony Meyer, you get the defending state champ and the state runner-up to open things up here in the season. That's just old hat here in Region 1 softball play. 1-2 here to Sand, who struck out in the first. Take slow, now 2-2. Sherwine in left with Severson in center and Nelson in right field here for head coach Scott Koss and the Squirrels. Tori Richter, the pitch. Strike 3 looking, and Richter has her 9th strikeout. Outer part of the plate as Reese will check in. The freshman second baseman worked a full count, struck out in the first. And the pitch. This one will miss. Now 1-0. Sinner at third with Fletchock at short. Mitchell at second. Prochnow at first. And Wixo behind the plate here for the Central Cass Squirrels. 1-0 offering from Richter. This one in there for a strike. Now 1-1. As Northern Cass right now, their lone base runner, Casey Fix, with a 1-out walk back in the second. This one will miss on the outer port. Now 2-1. Tess Jalbert due up next here for Northern Cass. Jake so far, no runs, no hits. One left on. This one swung on. Now 2-2 with an error. The Central Cass Squirrels so far, 4 runs across on 5 hits. They've left 3 on board with no errors in return. Swung on, and Richter gets another strikeout. Up to double digits, 10 so far through 3 2/3 innings. Haven't seen anything leave the infield, much to less anything has left home plate outside of a foul ball here for Northern Cass. This one will miss, running in now 1-0. Richter has seen the minimum, 3 batters in the first. So you saw Ruiz for 1 pitch in the second before Fix was caught stealing at second base to retire the side in the second. 3 up, 3 down in the third, and trying to do the same here potentially in the 4th inning. Tess works ahead in the count 2-0 against Richter. Torrey looking into Wixo. This one will get to the backstop. Now it'll be 3-0. Hannah Anderson, the cleanup batter, due up next here for Northern Cass. And for Coach Anthony Meyer and the Jags, all about just finding a way to get some base runners here in a consecutive order against a really good pitcher in Richter. 3-0 pitch taken on the way in there for a strike, and we'll see how aggressive Tess is going to be here on 3-1 and what the sign comes down for Coach Meyer. 3-1 offering. That'll hit the outer part of the plate now, 3-2. Very similar pitch that struck out Elise Sand to open up the inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Richter looking to strike out the side here in the 4th. And she does. Richter with her 11th punch out. And that'll go 3 up and 3 down here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Central Cass Squirrels up by 4 on your live event.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the IRE Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let IRE Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to ireinsurance.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 batters here. Aspen Preen, Mitchell, and Tori Richter. All right, now Tori Richter, I hate to say the cat's out of the bag, but our Enbridge Energy player of the game very well could be Tori Richter the way she's going. She's got strikeouts, she has home runs, she has walks, she's got runs. I mean, she's a one-woman wrecking crew. So this one's hit up the third baseline foul. Aspen Preen grounded out last half inning on the bunt up the third baseline to Casey Fix, who handled it well. Just like the second, they will start 8, 9, and 1 batters here in the fourth for Central Cass. Elise Sand still in the center circle here for the Jags. In the circle, and that'll miss outside. Now it'll be 1 and 1. State tournament this year in Minot at the South Hill Complex, June 1st through the 3rd. Region 1 tournament in Kindred this year. 2 and 1 last season up in Hillsboro as it makes its annual pass through the region. 2-1 pitch. This one in there for a strike, now 2 and 2. Region 1 baseball this season going to be down in Enderlin, where it's going to feel like the mecca of baseball the last year and change. 2-2 pitch from San. This one will miss up high, now 3 and 2 as Aspen works the count full here for the leadoff batter in the bottom of the fourth inning. A contest that started at 4:39. This one is hit up into the dugout here, and hoping everyone is all right. As kind of a scatter of fireworks there as they get the softball back. Up the third baseline, you have a couple of players in some coats or into the wearing a little bit of the blankets. And we'll do the 3-2 again. Payoff pitch by Sand. This one will miss outside, and it's a leadoff walk here for Aspen. That'll be the first walk here for Elise Sand since the first inning where she walked Richter and Flitchock to begin. She had 2 strikeouts in that inning as well in the first. So far, she's gone 3 innings, 5 hits against her, 4 runs with 3 of them being earned. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts, as this one will be in there for a strike to Whitney Mitchell. The freshman second baseman flew out to Gellner back in the second. 1-0 pitch, that'll miss outside. Quick whip throw by Jalbert to Hoyland. Not going to be back quick enough. Now it's 1 and 1. Richter, Fletchock, and Sinner then are due up here for Central Cass if they continue to get through the order. This one will be in there for a strike, now 1 and 2. Elise Sand 1 strike away from getting the first out here of the bottom of the fourth inning. Sand looks in. The 1-2 pitch. That'll miss outside. Runner stays put at first and Preen. Now it's 2 and 2. Northern Cass, goose egg so far in the first through the fourth for Central Cass. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. 2-2 offering from Sand. This one is foul, tipped in right off the helmet here of Tesh Jalbert. She looks to be all right. She quickly comes back up from her crouch position here. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Elise Sand kind of looking in to make sure she's all right. The big CC in center field here at Coss Field in Castleton. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. That'll miss outside, and that'll be a ball here, and that should be 3 and 2 after the foul tip. So Whitney Mitchell, back-to-back batters here in the bottom of the fourth to work the count full now to Elise Sand. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 looking. The whip throw to first. Not in time, but Sand gets her first strikeout since the first inning. The most batters Central Cass brought to the dish against Sand. Back in the first, they brought 7 to the plate. They scored 2 runs off of 2 hits. No errors and 2 runners left, thanks in part to 2 leadoff walks. A RBI single by Sinner. And then an RBI single by Prochnow. Good job by Tess behind the plate there, picking that one up in the dirt. And she holds the runner at first base, and Aspen Richter so far with a walk and a homer, 2 runs scored. This one is hit past, oh, nope, Casey Fix comes up with it, goes across the diamond. That one's not going to be in time. It's an infield single here for Richter, but what a play by Casey Fix. Fix quickly looked at second to see if she could get Aspen, but unable to do so, and that little hesitation was enough on the one-hopper to allow Richter to hustle up the first base line and get aboard. It's going to be a base knock there given up by Sand. And now runners at first and second with Fletchock to the plate. Fletchock first pitch swinging, swung on and missed. Now 0-1. And something that Scott Koss has had in his program for quite some time are hitters who can hit the long ball, but those who are quick on the bases find ways to put the ball in play and force the defense to make a play. This one is hit high up in the air. This will be into short second, and that'll be gloved by Lavig there for the second out of the 4th inning.
Third baseman, number 30, Katie
Sinner with a single and a double, a run scored and a run driven in. All that Central Cass is missing on the bingo card is a triple here offensively. Walk, single, double, home run. This one will miss, running low. That'll be 1-0, and Sand right now with a dangerous batter at the plate. Is one good pitch from getting out of this pickle here in the 4th inning and keeping it at 4-0 on our Bank North scoreboard. 1-0 pitch. This one is hit on the ground of the shortstop. There is Olsen trying to go the short way to Fix, not in time, and good job on the way by Aspen hustling up from second to third, and the bases are juiced now for Mickey Prochnow. Aspen is going to be at third, Richter's at second, and Sinner gets aboard at first base. Bases loaded here for Central Cass and a chance to really break open the game in the 4th. This one is hit up the third base line, but it's going to be a foul ball as it gets by Fix. And we'll keep it now to 0-1 in the count. Prochnow with an RBI single back in the 1st, a single with a stolen base in the 3rd. Central Cass, a leadoff walk by Aspen. Whitney struck out. Tori Richter able to get aboard in the single. Fletchock popped out to Lavig, and now Sinner at first after that infield single. Be 1 ball and 1 strike here. 1-1 on the way. A single scores 1, if not 2, with the speed with Richter at second. This one will miss in now 2-1, and if you get a gapper, this one's going to be a quick delayed whip throw back to third. Now 1, and here comes the second on the way, and 2 runners are across here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Sinner will stay at second base. Coming to score is Aspen. Coming to score as well as Richter after the error, and Prochnow will continue with a 2-1 count. So this one will come across, and that'll be missing for a ball now at 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike here. And the pitch, that'll miss outside, and that'll be a walk. And now the Squirrels will have runners at first and second base here. And they'll try to take full advantage coming up here for the Central Cass Squirrels. This one is get high in the air by Severson. Find the wind is going to be the center fielder here, and that'll retire the side with Gellner there in a Sellner. So Severson first pitch swinging, but that'll do it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A couple runs come across on our Bank North scoreboard. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Central Cass up by 6 here on your liveevent.com.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
Go to the top of the fifth inning. 2 runs across for the Central Cass Squirrels there in the bottom of the fourth, thanks to a costly error. Central Cass will take it. Northern Cass, you just dug yourself a little bit bigger of a hole here with Henderson, Fix, and Hoyland due up here. And Hannah Anderson down quickly, 0-2. So far, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk, no hits for Tori Richter through 4 innings of play. The 0-2 pitch on the way here for Tori. This one will miss. Now it's going to be 1-2. 4, 5, and 6 batters for Northern Cass just looking to break up, even if it's the no-hitter, trying to get that on board. But again, trying to get runners on the base pass here. And instead, Richter gets another strikeout. She's got 12 of them here on this Monday afternoon. This is the only batter that has reached against Richter. Tori Richter with 4 straight strikeouts to start the contest. Since then, she's thrown 8 straight. 0-1. This one is going to be hit up the first baseline foul, and that'll be 0-1. Still to come, make sure you stay tuned to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. The cat might be out of the bag, as we mentioned earlier, with the performance of Tori Richter so far here today in the circle, and also adding that to the plate. This one missing outside, now 1-1. Northern Cass, a team that wants to fight for an opportunity to get to state this season and to get through Central Cass and Kindred Richland as most years, and Hillsborough Central Valley, as we said earlier in the broadcast, is going to be a team that's going to be interesting to see how they perform, barring Mother Nature and the weather. The Squirrels and the Burros are slated to play on Thursday in Hillsborough. 2-1 pitch. This one will miss. It'll be 3-1, and also Hillsborough, they'll get Northern Cass tomorrow here on YourLiveEvent.com in Hillsborough. So the Jags going through the meat grinder here of Region 1 to start things off in 2023. This one is going to miss, and just like the first time up, Casey Fix draws a walk. And just like it was in the second, a strikeout to start, and then Fix is able to get a walk here. She was gunned down in the second via the Wixoda Fletchock put out in the second, and she stays put this time. This one will miss, as Hoyland will take a ball now 1-0. Runner at first, Casey Fix. That's been the farthest base runner and the only base runner today for Northern Cass. This one swung on and missed, now 1-1. Rousey due up next here for Northern Cass. It's Coach Meyer. Sends some signs across the way in the third base coaching box. 1-1 pitch here for Richter. That'll miss up. Now 2-1 as Hoyland bluffed a bunt. Central Cass in the bottom of the fifth inning slated to have Wixo, Nelson, and Preen due up. Tori Richter falls behind the count, 2-1 and the pitch. This one going to be in there for a strike, now 2-2. So Anderson with a strikeout, Fix with a 5-pitch walk, and now it's the 5th pitch coming up here to Brooklyn from Tori Richter. As Richter looks in and fires. 2-2 missing, now will make the count full at 3-2. Full count back in the first with Reese. Full count with Fix in the second. And then a full count with Tess to finish the fourth. Tori Richter, 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Richter gets another strikeout. That is 13 on the afternoon. Rousey due up. Struck out looking her last time up on 3 pitches to open up the top of the third inning. 2 outs. Richter 1 out away here from keeping that goose egg on the scoreboard as this one goes over the Central Cass dugout for a strike. Now 0-1. Richter right now has done a really good job here today, mixing up pitches, finding different locations. 0-1 pitch. This one into the Central Cass dugout. Off the fence, now 0-2. And Coach Meyer giving some hitting instructions to Rousey as she crouches up a little bit on the bat here. Falling behind now 0-2. We'll see if she can battle with Fix at first base. And the pitch. That'll miss for a ball. Now 1-2. Fourth batter up to the plate here in this inning for Northern Cass. As Richter looking for strikeout number 14 here and get the bats up in the bottom of the fifth. And she gets it on punch-out number 14 to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one runner left on base. 4.5 complete today in Castleton. It's the Central Cass Squirrels leading it by 6 as we go to the bottom of the fifth on your liveevent.com.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
Bottom of the fifth inning here in Castleton, the Central Cass Squirrels. 2 runs in the first, a pair of runs in both the second and the third, and 2 runs in the fourth. So far, earned runs against Elise Sand is 3, so half of her runs against have been via the air. 1 error in the third, and then a costly error back in the fourth as well. But for the most part here, Sand has done a good job at trying to keep the Central Cass batters off balance, considering who her opponent is and Richter and how she's been able to perform in the circle so far here today. Paige Wixo takes a ball now 1-0. This one will miss outside. That'll be 2-0. Wixo with a pop out back in the first and right back to Sand in the third on a line drive. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That'll miss. 3-0. Lee Sand so far with 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. 3-0 pitch here, and we'll see if Wixo gets the green light. She'll take a ball, and that'll be a leadoff walk here for the Central Cass Squirrels to get going in the bottom of the fifth inning. So 2 walks in the first. There was 2 walks in the fourth. No, 1 walk here in the fifth inning. So Olivia Haugen coming on for the courtesy runner. As Wixo, the catcher, will come back into the dugout here and get her catcher's gear ready for the 6th inning. This one swung on a miss by Nelson, now 0-1. Nelson 0 for 2 in the game with a strikeout to finish the first, then flew out to Hovdenis to retire the side in the third. This one missing on the outer part of the plate by Sand, now 1-1. Northern Cass back at it again tomorrow. Central Cass, the same can be said, something we haven't said too much of, if at all, here this season with games back-to-back and actually being able to get some games in here on the schedule. Be 2-1 now in the bottom of the fifth inning. Squirrels up by 6 on our Bank North scoreboard. This is a high fly ball deep to left field, as this will be off the mid of the left fielder, Hovnes. Rounding second on her way to third is going to be Haugen, and she's going to stand up there. So Central Cass Squirrels via the air will get runners at second and third. Tough one battling the wind, but Hovnes, that one just hit off the top of her glove and bounced out. And that'll allow runners to be now at second and third. Nobody out, and well, now all of a sudden if you're Central Cass, you get a couple of runs, you can start talking about the mercy rule. Pring, this one will miss. Now 1-0. Aspen grounded out to Fix on the bunt back in the second. Walked with a run scored back in the fourth. Now she has a chance to drive some runs in. This one gets to the backstop. Haugen comes in, and that's going to be sliding in there safely for a run. So a wild pitch will allow the Squirrels to now take a 7-0 lead as Haugen will come in to score. Nelson goes from second to third. And now Aspen works ahead in the count 2-0 as she'll take a bowl now 3-0. So Mitchell due up next here for Central Cass, and it goes back to the top of the lineup here. 3-0 is the count. Swung on and missed, now 3-1. Stay tuned to our post-game show where we'll name you our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game in this one. We'll also try to hear from the victorious coach and a particular player. That's all coming up, as that's going to be a 5-pitch walk on the way here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So a walk, an air, and a walk right now in this inning for Central Cass to get all their runners aboard as Whitney Mitchell, the number 9 batter, steps into the plate. 0 for 2 today with a fly out to center to Gelner and a strikeout in the 4th. Her last time up. Runner goes from first to second here. There's going to be no throw as Aspen is able to get 60 feet closer. As runners in scoring position here for Whitney Mitchell. And she works ahead in the count. 1-0 missing, now 2-0. As Elise Sand right now trying to find that strike zone here in the 5th. Able to really minimize the damage a lot here today for Elise Sand against Central Cass. This one will be in there for a strike, now 2-1. After the first 4 batters reached in the first inning, she struck out 2 and then got a pop out with Paige Wixow to minimize the damage to 2 back in the first. This one misses for a ball, now 3-1. Tori Richter hit a 2-out solo home run in the second. That was the only damage there. And then in the third, a double, a single to open things up, and just a run that came across. Swung on and missed. Good, healthy cut there by Mitchell. In the 4th inning, a costly error that allowed 2 runs to come in. So Elite Sand, all things considered, yeah, there's 7 runs across on the board, but only 4 of them have been earned. This one will be in the back as that'll miss, and the bases are now loaded here for the Central Cass Squirrels, and Tori Richter steps up to the plate. Nelson is at first. Aspen Preen's at second with Whitney Mitchell at first, and Anthony Myers going to come out here. We'll see if we get a pitching change or just a little words of encouragement and some instruction here for the infield and Elise Sand in terms of the situation where the game is right now 7-0 in favor of the Central Cass Squirrels. And where do you want to go on the infield depending on how the ball gets hit to a particular position, with Fix at third, Olsen at short, Lavig at second, and Hoyland again at first base. Tori Richter today from the plate walked with a stolen base in the first and a run scored. Solo homer in the second, and a single back in the 4th with a run scored as well. And on top of that, she's added 14 strikeouts here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Runners at first, second, and third with nobody out, nowhere to put Richter as the infield will come in and try to cut that runoff at home, down by 7. And then with the mercy rule coming a little bit more into play now with the number of Squirrels on the base pass, as Richter with a 1-0 count. Sand missing, now 2-0, and what we're seeing from Central Cass right now is, hey, if you're not going to get one across the plate, doesn't matter who is in the circle, I'll take the walk and keep the line moving. 2-0 pitch. Nice looking spot for Elise Sand, now 2-1. That outer part has been called consistently here today. We've seen Richter take full advantage of that here when she's in the circle. 2-1 offering. Missing outside, now 3-1. The center fielder just a shade over into right center here with Gelner. Left fielder almost going down the left field line with Hubness, and Anderson playing almost more in right center here against Richter. 3-1 pitch is smashed down the right field line, but foul, and the count is full at 3-2. So Wixow earned a walk, was lifted for Haugen to come on in as Olivia Haugen scored. And then Nelson was able to reach base with Aspen Pryn, and then Mitchell. 3-2 pitch. This one hit on the ground, but foul. So Nelson again is at third. Aspen Preen is at second, and Whitney Mitchell at first base here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Lee Sam looking for a strikeout here or something hit right to an infielder. 3-2 pitch. This one is hit up the middle. There's coming a run to score. It's going to be Nelson. Aspen Preen will come in from second base, and it'll be a 2 RBI single here for Tori Richter. As the Central Cass Squirrels now lead at 9-0, and they'll have runners at the corners.
Now batting the shortstop, number 9, Grace Fletcher.
Mitchell's going to be at third base. Tori Richter is going to be at first. And now for Fletchock, looking to get that run in from third and trying to get that mercy rule again, as we talked about, in effect on our Bank North scoreboard. There's a hot smash. They get one across the way to second. Not going to be in time. And coming in to score from third is going to be Mitchell, and that'll make it 10-0 here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So Squirrels will take it here via the mercy rule in this 5th inning. Mitchell will come in to score a line drive out for Fletchock, and that'll do it here in the 5th inning. So a line out for Fletchock, but coming to score via the air again is going to be Mitchell after Olsen one-hopped Hoyland. They had Richter out to dry if that would have been just a little bit better of a throw, but instead that'll retire the side. Final at 5:44 here, so just an hour and 5 minutes for this ball game. Tori Richter gets 14 strikeouts here through 5 innings of work. She'll pick up the win. Well, picking up the loss here will be Elise Sand for the Northern Cass Jaguars. The Jags are hitless, no runs, no hits. A couple of errors with just one runner left on base. We'll get to Central Cass's stat line here in a moment. But a final, Central Cass wins it 10-0. Coming up, we'll get to our post-game show here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow in the new space and move forward with excellence.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
As we come back here, we'll get to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game right off the bat here. Enbridge Energy, go to enbridge.com for career opportunities. And our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, well, no surprise. Tori Richter goes 3 for 3 from the plate with 3 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. She earned a walk in the first, homered in the second, hit a single in the fourth, and had a 2 RBI single in the fifth as well. Richter was able to get 14 strikeouts, just 2 walks against her through 5 innings of work. The walk against Casey Fix in the second and the 5th inning. Tori Richter is our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game here in this one. Central Cass goes to 3-0 on the season. They have a game next with the Kindred Richland Vikings, while for the Northern Cass Jaguars, they go to 1 and make that 0-2 on the season. They have a game tomorrow here on Your Live Event against the Hillsborough Central Valley Burros. For Elise Sand, she'll go 4 and make it a third of an inning, as she will give up 7 hits, 10 runs, with 6 strikeouts, make that 3 strikeouts and 6 walks here in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that 7 walks here in this one for Elise Sand. As the Central Cass Squirrels, 10 runs, 7 hits, left 6 on with No errors here for Northern Cass. No runs, no hits. 3 errors and 1 runner left on base. That was Casey Fix back in the top of the 5th inning. Up next for the Central Cass Squirrels, they're scheduled again to have a game tomorrow against the Kindred Richland Vikings here in Castleton, while for Northern Cass, their next contest as they head to Hillsborough Central Valley is their next scheduled game. We'll have that for you right here on yourliveevent.com. Fletchock and Richter got things going in the first inning with a pair of walks. Katie Sinner had an RBI single. Prochnow added to that to make it 2-0. Richter hit a solo home run then to get things going in the second inning with the only run. Sinner hit a double, and then Prochnow with a single. And then there was a Wixo line out to have a run come across here on the air. Then in the third, coming in to score was Sinner. In the fourth inning, a leadoff walk by Aspirin Prin, and then Tori Richter was able to get aboard, and then Kate Sinner drove in a run as well, and then 2 RBIs by Richter in the 5th inning. So that's a look at the scoring here for the Central Cass Squirrels. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll put a bow on this one here at Costfield in Castleton as the Central Cass Squirrels pick up the win, and they earn it by a final of 10-0 on our Bank North scoreboard. More after this here on yourliveevent.com.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the Irie Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let Irie Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to IrieInsurance.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
As we come back here on our post-game show, join us now, Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, that is Tori Richter. And Tori, the nice thing is able to get out and play a game. You got a bunch of games scheduled this week, so hopefully it feels like softball. I know you've been chomping at the bit like everybody else to finally get on the field, but the third game here, what got you in rhythm from the start to get those strikeouts, 14 of them here on the day?
I think confidence in my defense. I knew that even if they were going to get hits off of me, my defense would be able to back me up and help me out in that aspect. Luckily, they didn't have to do much of that today, but, confidence in them.
Let's talk about the one punch-out that you had with, Casey Fix at first base there. Wixel goes to Fletchock, applies a tag. What did you see on that one from yourself, just seeing, getting that punch-out when they did get a runner on, trying to get in a scoring position and, able to get that nice retiring the side there in the second?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, after walking here, I was a little bit frustrated, and then seeing Paige make a play like that. We haven't really been tested in that aspect yet, so I'm very happy to see her be able to make plays like that and have confidence in her now too.
Top of the order, you got things going with 2 runs in the first, and he added to it with, Sinner, with Mickey and company. When you can get that top of the order going, what does that do with Grace also in the mix there in terms of a tone setter, not just for the inning but for the game?
Yeah, it's awesome to get started right away and get on base, see what we can do right away and get up in that early lead. But then we also hand it over to the bottom middle of our lineup where they can also hit the ball extremely well, and we have great hitters all the way through the lineup, so it's awesome.
Final thing for you, Tori, here. There's a number of games. You got a game tomorrow against the Vikings, a game Thursday, then hopefully you're going out west and playing some as well. How fun is it as a player to say, okay, come on, Mother Nature, allow us to get, 4 or 5 games in here this week?
Yeah, we knew when we got a bunch of games canceled that we would have some pretty packed weeks, but I think we're all excited for that. We just want to play softball. We want to get out there and get tested and have some good games this week, so we're excited for it.
Hey, Tori, congratulations on the win and best of luck tomorrow against the Vikings.
Thank you.
That again, Tori Richter will put a bow on this one after this.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
Well, again, your final via the mercy rule in 5 innings. The Central Cass Squirrels play 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning en route to a 10-0 win over the Northern Cass Jaguars here on this Monday afternoon. I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning in after we heard from Tori Richter there to pick up the W here for the Central Cass Squirrels, as again they go to 3-0 on the season, hosting the Vikings tomorrow. Northern Cass drops to 0-2. The Jags with the game tomorrow against Hillsborough Central Valley in Hillsborough. We'll have the call for you right here on YourLiveEvent.com. Also scheduled tomorrow on Your Live Event, we do have Hillsborough Central Valley at Thompson. That game scheduled to get underway in the 4 o'clock hour as well. But Tori Richter, she was our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, able to go 5 innings, picks up her second win of the season, 14 strikeouts, 2 walks via the pitching, but she has 3 hits, 3 runs batted in, and 3 at-bats here as well. Central Cass picks up the win on YourLiveEvent.com. For more information, go to our website at YourLiveEvent.com for upcoming games throughout the rest of the week, including the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree on Friday and Saturday down in Enderlin. I'm Chase Miller. Enjoy the rest of your week and Monday afternoon.